I'm Allendale's chief meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. Surface analysis across the country right now shows our cool front has made it through the Ohio River area, now running from the Ohio River then down through southern parts of Missouri and right along the Kansas-Oklahoma border. Behind that cool front, a big push of Canadian high pressure is settling in over the upper Midwest. Basically, one high is sitting right on the Iowa-Minnesota line. The other one's still up north of Lake Winnipeg. So therefore, with that current position, we're seeing north winds come down the front side of the high, bringing cooler than normal temperatures over a good chunk of the central and eastern Corn Belt. South winds up the backside, though, will start to warm the area as the high moves off to the east. We look for that to happen over the course of the next couple of days. Big question mark now comes down to when the next good round of precipitation develops. It looks to me like the next significant front that hits a majority of the Corn Belt, and you can even make the argument for the plains, doesn't develop until we go to the second half of next week, the 30th into the 31st. However, models are a little bit reluctant to completely get rid of action for this weekend, stemming out of a system that passes by over southern parts of Manitoba into Ontario, develops a secondary low down in Minnesota overnight Friday night into Saturday. We're going to have to keep an eye out for a good line of showers and thunderstorms developing from southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin back through Iowa and into Nebraska. The European model shows this the biggest, the GFS not so much, so there's not a spectacular amount of model agreement here. But I guess since we'd been talking about moisture in this time frame all the way out a week and a half ago, we probably ought to continue to give it a little bit of lip service here. Looks like it may run out of gas as it moves eastward, so the best hit areas out of this batch of moisture here this weekend, probably the western half of the Corn Belt. By the time the action makes it to Indiana sometime late Saturday afternoon into Sunday, it might be falling apart. I like rainfall totals, Corn Belt wide at about 1/4 to 1 inch, but I only like coverage at 50% or less, and I would even say 40% or less might be a better way to go. We'll see how the models deal with this going forward. Then, as we said, dry after that system all the way into the middle of next week. Our next system for the 30th and 31st comes up out of an area of low pressure in the Kansas-Oklahoma region and then spreads across the rest of the Corn Belt. I like 1/4 to 1 inch rainfall totals there. The difference is I think we're looking at coverage probably 75 to 80% of the Corn Belt. We'll just have to see. After that system right there before the turn of the month, we'll see drier weather come back in. I've got a nice dry stretch from the 1st at least through the 6th. The GFS model does try and pull some hanky-panky and bring some moisture in around that August 2nd time frame. I'm not a big believer, mostly because there's no other model that agrees right now. And we oftentimes see the GFS this time of the year throw more moisture into the extended forecast period than it probably should. So we'll keep watching it, but for right now, keeping a mostly dry picture here. So you'll notice we do have timely rains in the forecast, not excessive. And we do see temperatures normal when you average out over the period, some below normal to start, near to above in the middle, but I think overall you don't see any heat in the Corn Belt here, mostly looking at normal temperatures. And as we head into that first part of August, I see another upper level trough trying to push down in, keeping temperatures below normal around the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of August. That's the way your forecast is stacking up. If you've got any questions on the weather, give us a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.